Every country has its moment. It's time to shine.
When the universe conspires, planets align.
Scotland invites you, our stage is set.
For one brilliant year we'll never forget.
A homecoming to celebrate all that we are. Countless events, parties near and far.
We welcome the world to come and to share, so you too can say, yes, I was there.
Good afternoon and welcome to the International Hockey Centre here in Glasgow. It's FIH Champions Challenge Finals Day. My name's Jack McGill and I'm delighted to welcome you to live coverage of the third, fourth place playoff between South Africa and Spain. The penultimate match of this tournament before this evening's final between Ireland and the USA. And we're in for a feast, another feast of world-class hockey again today. Let's take a look at what's left in today's schedule. So the fixtures there as they remain. You can see the results from earlier today as well. 7th-8th playoff this morning was not a 2-1 loss to Scotland. Scotland actually came back to win that one 4-3. In the 7th-8th playoff this morning, Scotland victorious by 4-3. And then in the 5th-6th playoff, Korea beating Belgium by 2-1 in the shootout. That game finishing 1-1 at full time. It went to the shootout, a very dramatic shootout, and Koreans showing a tremendous amount of class and no shortage of skill in finishing that off. The Belgians not happy with a number of umpiring decisions in that game. We'll get the thoughts on that and I look forward to this afternoon's match from our commentary team. Neil Sturrock and Rona Simpson, delighted to welcome you back, guys.
Thanks, Jack.
Did you have a good lunch break?
Yes, very well deserved, I think, lunch break. But we are ready to go for these last two very important matches. And I think if the first two matches are anything to go by in today's programme, if these two can keep up with the standards of that, we're in for some more entertaining hockey. Yeah,
the two placing matches started off slowly, Neil, but they certainly built up a considerable head of steam by the time we got to the sort of halfway point of the second half. And what dramatic finishes we saw in both games.
Absolutely. I think at the start of games like that, the coaches are wanting their players to work to a plan, and part of that's to be not to give the opposition the on the front foot at the start, and it was a little bit cagey, and it may well be that when we get to the bronze medal game and the gold medal game that the similar thing is happening. We talked earlier about teams not wanting to give very much away, and interestingly over the lunch break we see that there's representatives from Germany here, from Netherlands and from England, who are all going to the World Cup and playing against some of the teams that are here. So they're here to have a look and see what's going on. Maybe that explains why the Belgians didn't do any other corner options but just hit into the goalkeeper.
Well, we did talk about that before the game, didn't we? It's interesting, Rona, to see those other countries here. They'll be keeping a very close eye on what's going on here in Glasgow because, as we said at the start of the tournament, all these teams bunched within about maybe 10 to 15 places in the world rankings, all likely opponents against each other at a World Cup, and also, of course, in the Commonwealth countries' cases at Glasgow 2014 later in July.
Yeah, absolutely. There is always spies around at any tournament, and they'll be certainly looking to find out anything they possibly can from the teams that are on display at this tournament. So there will be a vested interest from some of the spectators today. As we say, they'll be looking to try and get any little snippet that might help them in the forthcoming World Cup in a few weeks' time, and also at the Commonwealth Games back at this venue later in the summer. So yeah, it's a bit cat and mouse at times. Obviously a bronze medal at stake here, really important match. Both teams will want to go home with that bronze medal, but it's just how much do they show of all their tactics in this game.
So the teams, as you can see on your screens, just ready to process out onto the pitch. We are being treated to some rather dramatic music from the venue PA public announcer. And if any of you at home can identify that piece of music, this being May the 4th, and with all the special, particularly geeky celebrations that surround May the 4th, which is, of course, Star Wars Day, if you can identify that piece of music, do tweet us. This piece of music, of course, slightly more obvious and well known to everybody. And a fitting, dramatic entrance for all of the players here today. South Africa against Spain is your match, live and exclusive on FIH TV, and today's coverage is brought to you by Scottish Hockey and their event partners Glasgow Life, Event Scotland, NCS, Ginger Grouse, Hero and the government of Argentina, and we are grateful for their support in helping us bring you this live and exclusive coverage. And as I said, you can be part of the coverage too. We're desperate to hear from you wherever you're watching hockey in the world, so do tweet us. The hashtag is there on the screen, CC1, and you can reach us at FIH_hockey. Tell us what you're thinking of this match, tell us what you think of the tournament as a whole. And Neil, you've had some contact over your initial stint in the commentary box today, and you've had people from Wales and from as far afield as Australia contacting you.
Yes, it must be some of the Scottish influence that we've got around the world. We've had some contacts from our umpiring friends, Dina Willocks in Brisbane, Australia, from Katie Butler in Cardiff, and even from Blair Thompson from as far away as Aberdeen.
As far away as Aberdeen is about as remote as it gets, isn't it? Well, yes, you can get on Twitter. I mean, there have been plenty of tweets over the course of today. Of course, the Men's Champions Challenge also happening at the same time in Malaysia. And Malaysia, the hosts, have emerged victorious from their bronze medal match against the Irish men by 4-2. But plenty still for Irish hockey fans to cheer about as their women go up against the United States in the final of the women's competition here in Glasgow later on today. So just a few minutes to go before pushback, and before then we'll have the national anthems. You can see the Spanish team on your screen there just being introduced to the crowd here, and we've been blessed with a healthy crowd for all of the matches here today in Glasgow, particularly vociferous support for the Scots earlier, of course, naturally. And there's been a big Irish contingent here over the course of the week as well. But plenty of people here, Rona, to appreciate two fine hockey-playing teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be quite a knowledgeable audience and spectators that we have in front of us, Jack. They'll be interested to see just how different teams around the world play the game. Obviously very familiar with it back home, but as we listen now for the first national anthem, South Africa, I think the crowd will be in for a treat this afternoon.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Some now official information for you. South Africa are managed by Sheldon Ralston, and Spain are managed by Raul Gomez.
So there we are, the national anthems of both teams, and they complete the pre-match formalities with the handshakes, and it's time to give you the starting lineup, starting with Spain. And there's the squad that's travelled to Scotland. Starting for Spain today, in goals, number 1, Maria Lopez de Gales Ubrera. Captain number 3, Rocio Ibarra. Number 5, Gutierrez. Number 8, Salvatella. Number 9, Lopez. Number 11, Guinea. Number 13, Magath. Number 17, Lola Riera. Number 18, Pinheiro. Number 21, Beatriz Perez. Number 23, Oliva. And their coach, Adrian Locke. Now, the South Africans, you can see warming up there on your screen as we battle against the PA here at the venue. The South African squad. Number 8, captain Marsha Cox. Number 10, Shelley Russell. Number 11, Marcel Manson. Number 12, Turkey Chamberlain. Number 13, Lisa Marie Detlefs. And goals, number 18, Annelle van Deventer. Number 20, Nicoline Terblanche. Number 21, Lenice Marais. Number 23, Bernadette Costin. Number 29, Taryn Bright. And number 31, Celia Evans. And their coach, Giles Bonnet. Our umpires for this afternoon's match, Amber Church from New Zealand and Hong Chen from China. So there we go, teams are ready. Spanish substitutes take their place on the bench here. Turkey Chamberlain will get us started. South Africa going from left to right in this first half. And your match commentators, Neil Sturrock and Rona Simpson.
Thank you very much, Jack. Yep. Game 3 and the bronze medal match underway. It will be an interesting contest between these two relatively experienced teams. South Africa probably, Neil, slightly more experienced in terms of caps compared to the Spanish.
Yeah, I think so. Giles has brought a really strong squad across with him. A number of players with 11 players, 13 players with over 100 caps, and their captain with over 300. How many years would it have taken us to get that number of caps?
Well, it's changed days now, isn't it, with the rolling subs, and I'll not class myself maybe quite in the same era as yourself, Neil, no disrespect, but we did have rolling subs when I was playing, so it didn't take me quite as long maybe to clock up as many as you did.
Fair point. But no, the Spanish only have one player with over 100 and odd caps. They're a fairly young team in terms of international experience, but they've been improving as the tournament went on, and we'll see how this goes.
So Spain looking to get forward. South Africans tracking back. Taryn Bright there doing the defensive legwork, and she earns South Africa a free hit. So umpire is making sure it's taken from the correct place. Already down below, as we can hear Adrian Locke, the Spanish coach, really issuing instructions. He's very vocal on the touchline, Neil.
Absolutely. It's a young squad, and sometimes at the start they need a little bit more direction, but as a player you'll know you don't actually hear an awful lot when you're playing.
No, you're just really concentrating and focusing in on your own job, and that's the most important thing. That's what he'll be hoping each individual does. They just remain focused. They'll know exactly what roles and responsibilities they've got to carry out in today's match. They'll have been through that in the pre-match team and game plan, so it'll be interesting to see how this game unravels. South Africa at the moment just working the ball out their own defensive quarter, and Spain starting with a fairly heavy press up front, Neil.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if South Africa are going to get round that, they might have to, when they go round the back, miss one of the players out. Otherwise, going round the back with the 3 passes allows the defending team to be able to get across and cut the ball out.
Absolutely. So ball pace absolutely crucial in terms of opening up that channel to go forward. And a mistake there on the right hand side, deep right hand defence. Now the Spanish allow South Africa to start their own attack, and here they come, a chance to attack down the right hand side, but cleared on that occasion. So Spain allowed to bring the ball back out by Guinea, and she's been a key player for the Spanish. But Coston getting back there, doing her defensive duties, and Spain now sideline ball just inside South African 23. Ball pops up, so a hit out to Spain looking to just get the ball forward, searching for that channel, but no connection on that occasion. So South Africa start to rebuild, as we said, playing 4 at the back, but it may be they have to change that tactic as the game goes on to counteract the Spanish forward line. But here's come Spain. Trying to dribble through the South African defence, but outnumbered on that occasion, and pretty even Stevens at the moment, Neil.
Yeah, and South African midfield players are playing in the left and right, are playing in the outside channels, which means that if they do go into the centre, then she can be overrun by the Spanish. Here's
a chance for South Africa though. Little snapshot at goal. It was a good attack down the right hand side, and it was eventually Bernadette Coston that got the shot away, and South Africa still attacking the Spanish circle, but this time the umpire deems that to go against South Africa. So Spain now an opportunity 5 minutes into this match just to settle things down and start to build from the back. An interesting, slightly different tactic. South Africa just sitting off and allowing Spain to work the ball around the back, Neil.
Yeah, they're just letting the centre to move the ball about, but then to get the long penetration like that, it really means that they can get into the South African 23 and then into the circle. Great ball. Another
good ball, as you say, into the South African circle, and I think Spanish forwards just need to be alert, be aware, anticipate these balls, because all it needs is a little bit of a diving deflection, and that could break the deadlock.
Yeah, and it's not something we've seen an awful lot of from the forwards in the tournament, of actually just throwing themselves to get that deflection, that tip in.
So here come Spain forward again. Bright called into action to clear the lines, but it's back in, and again as exactly the same as the last ball into the circle, and these Spanish forwards really need to make sure they capitalise on these opportunities.
Absolutely, but if I was Giles Bonney, the South African coach, I'd be a little bit worried about the number of balls that are actually being able to penetrate through our defence right through to the circle.
Absolutely, it's just a little bit easy for Spain to get into that circle, but here comes South Africa at the other end. It's a great chance. Again, the number 14. This time it was Madston for South Africa, but a nasty injury now to the number 12 for South Africa, Dirk Chamberlain. She is going to need some treatment, so immediately the game is stopped. The umpire signals for some assistance, and it's the doctor who is going to take a look at that. A nasty one there, Neil.
Absolutely. No malice, and just a bit unfortunate, but very quick on the umpires to call a halt to the play and get the medical support on for the player. Seems to be moving, so hopefully she'll be okay. But I think defensively the South Africans are going to have to watch. It would appear to me that the Spanish are able to hit the ball and find a penetrating area right through. Okay, nobody's getting a touch on it, but it's getting through towards the goalkeeper, and if somebody gets a touch on it, then there's shots are going to be going on goal.
Absolutely, so I'm glad to say that Chamberlain is back on her feet. She might need a few minutes just to get over that, but the umpire restarts the match. It is deep in the Spanish defending quarter, but out it comes now through Magnaz, and she's trying to make inroads. It's quickly followed up by Pons, and down the left-hand side, attacking that South African circle. They've already had some success And South Africa need to have their wits about them. Lovely deflected ball. Spain, another opportunity, but trying to take the reverse stick shot, just doesn't have enough room, and the South African defenders clear their line. So now they try to break through David. She is closed down very quickly, and it's pretty fast and furious out there, Neil, in these opening minutes.
Yeah, again, same as we've seen in the other two games in the first 5-10 minutes. High intensity, but an awful lot of unforced turnovers.
So here come South Africa. They have a chance. It's a good reverse stick shot. Very, very narrow angle on the baseline there. It was Celia Evans for South Africa who had that opportunity, and keeper still had to make the save. South Africa again, and a great chance, just couldn't quite control it. Kathleen Taylor there with the first touch, but it is still in and around the Spanish circle. They are hunting for that breakthrough. Every Spanish player back behind the ball. And South Africa do have a sideline ball. Boston sprinting to get up there to take it, but only as far as the Spanish circle edge. So Spain now deep into their own half, and a little mistake there by Riera allows South Africa to regain possession. It's a great reverse stick cross. It's a good initial pick up there by Evans, but she can't quite control it, but they do have another chance, and it goes off the baseline, and Spain can breathe another sigh of relief. So a good bit of pressure here from South Africa, Neil.
Absolutely, but as you said earlier on, Rona, it's not about getting the ball in the circle, it's about getting outcomes when you're there. South Africa have been in with the possession 3 or 4 times already into the Spanish circle, but actually haven't really come out with anything that's caused Spain an awful lot of trouble. So teams deadlocked at the moment, but there is an opportunity for Spain. Can they get anything out of this? They have numbers forward, but again the South Africans do just enough to clear their lines. But here come Spain again. They're looking for a penalty corner, but umpire signalling for a South African free hit, and they will start the rebuilding process from the back. So Dammons now rejoins him, or joins, sorry, the play for South Africa, and she is extremely quick now. She gets a chance to run one-on-one, she can be very dangerous. Yes, at the moment the Spanish are keeping tags on her, not giving her that space to pick up the ball and run at them, but if she does get the space, as you say, very dangerous opponent. So 10 minutes into this bronze medal match. South Africa 0, Spain 0 at the moment. We have had some fascinating, entertaining hockey so far today in the first 2 games. Can this game live up to those expectations? South Africa battling forward through Costin, looking again to play that ball in. It reaches all the way across. It is another opportunity for South Africa, but it goes flying high over the Spanish goal, and they can breathe another sigh of relief. Umpire making sure ball is taken from exactly the right spot. So deadlock at the moment, and hope, Neil, in this game we can maybe see a couple of goals in the first half rather than all the excitement being in the second half. Yeah, hopefully. Interestingly, the Spanish are really patient at the back to create the channels that they want to. And here's a chance for Spain. Sorry to interrupt there, Neil, but it's all over the place, and I thought maybe I was getting a bit excited that we were going to get a goal in the first half. Yeah, they're very close, but the Spanish have worked the ball out. They're really getting their forwards into a good area, but they're asking questions of the South Africa defence just now. Yeah, and Taryn Bright just doing some sterling work back there deep in the South African circle.
Ladies and gentlemen, we get a round of applause for Bertie Timberley, who's gone back on the pitch after that knock to the head.
I think I quite like the way the Spanish 2 centre back and sweeper are holding on to the ball for a while until they're moving the South African forward line back and forward until they actually get something to create, and they're going both long with a hit and also like that, putting the ball over the top.
So Spain again trying to get some pressure on that South African goal. They do have a free hit. And they are looking to play the ball forward. Vieira there, number 17 for Spain, just assessing her options. Nothing going forward, so back it comes to the back two. Plenty of time and space on the ball at the back for Spain. South Africa just backing off, and there comes a point, Neil, in the game where the players have to step forward and get pressure on.
Yes, sometimes by stepping back they actually leave a better ball on, they leave an angle that lets the player on the ball actually find a more dangerous pass. Moving it back and forward there, then having an overload down the left hand side, didn't quite manage to get it, but you can see what they're trying to build up through.
Absolutely, so it is all square at the moment in this bronze medal match. South Africa working hard. Dirkie Chamberlain back on the pitch, so she has recovered from that initial, looked like quite a nasty knock, but she's a tough cookie and she'll not want to give in to any little bumps and bruises. She'll want to see the end of this game out.
Absolutely, and with World Cup selection and Commonwealth Games selection, you want to be there and you want to be playing.
So South Africa break forward again through Russell. She's been a key player for the South Africans. She has scored a number of their goals in the lead up to this match. And she will be hoping to add again her tally on that score sheet. But it is South Africa who are enjoying possibly the better start to this game. Trying to build the pressure on the Spanish. Outnumbered. Vieira there and just steals the ball off her, but all the way up the other end. And Spain will rebuild from the back.
And Giles Bonney, the South African coach there, just telling the players to keep their width and get the ball around the outside of the Spanish.
So Spain gone 4 at the back, the 2 wide centre backs drilling the ball back and forth to themselves, trying to move the South African forwards just enough to create the space to work the ball through. But they are being pressed now by the South Africans, but some nice individual stick work there by Poms allows the Spanish to break and enter into the South Africa half. So another long ball forward. It's been a little bit of a feature early on in these stages, trying to find those high forwards.
Yeah, absolutely. But the fact that the ball is actually going off the end line means that the space is there. I think all the Spanish coach will be looking to do is to get the forwards and the defenders to see the same space, so that somebody at the end of it when they make that ball.
So a real strong run there initially by Russell of South Africa. Working a little 1-2, the Spanish tackle comes in and it's a stick tackle outside the circle. We can see it here on the replay, Neil.
Yeah, it's a great lead and lay ball inside. And again, as we've seen before, players coming back, trying to tackle from behind the player carrying the ball. There's always a risk there, and if you get the stick first rather than the ball, then the umpire really doesn't have any other opportunity than just to give the corner.
So here we go, a great chance for South Africa to open the scoring here. Out it comes, an option at the top, played back across, it's still floating around, and a great save there by the Spanish keeper, Lopez, in goal.
Yeah.
She's called into action again. It's still in and around that Spanish circle. South Africa still have possession. Quick free hit taken, really looking to try and capitalise. Russell driving around that right hand side, but this time just a little bit too physical for the umpire. Spain regain possession at the back. You can see it again.
Interesting Spanish corner defence, showing an arrowhead 3-1 and then running a box 4. Ball coming out the top circle, good option. People going either side, dummy at the top circle with the shot to the side, played back to the pusher, but couldn't really get an awful lot on it, and saved by the goalkeeper. Rebound again picked up, and again another good save by the goalkeeper.
So the scores remain the same. South Africa 0, Spain 0. If you've just joined us in this bronze medal match, it has been a great start. It's been a high tempo game, and both teams working hard to try and break that deadlock. Guinea of Spain there is taking a little knock, and she is down on the pitch at the moment. The umpires are playing on, but there we hear the whistle to stop the game. I think it was just an unfortunate, unintentional elbow, but she is down at the moment and requiring some attention. I think it was a little elbow from Russell as she turned an elbow into her mouth, so she's going to take a couple of minutes to get herself back together and require some attention.
I think the interesting thing from the penalty corner there, Rona, is that Spain were showing a specific type of defence by their setup and then changed it in the middle of the corner, so they're trying to take the initiative away from the attacking team, showing one thing, running something else, so the team at the top circle attacking, not quite sure what the defence are going to run, therefore which options to use.
Yeah, absolutely. We just see there a nice bit of sportsmanship. The game had to stop due to the injury, and Spain is knocking the ball back out to allow South Africa to take possession again. But we're back underway. It is South Africa 0, Spain 0. We can also see Dirkie Chamberlain, who took a knock to the head earlier, still receiving some treatment, and I'm sure that will continue. She's been back on since that knock, but just making sure that doesn't get any worse. So South Africa now deep in their own defending quarter, trying to work the ball out, but a bit of a loose pass allows the Spanish midfield an opportunity to come forward. Taryn Bright, very, very physically strong for South Africa. This brings the ball to safety. Links up with Taylor. Russell back in the fray. A great ball. Almost just sneaking through near Neil, but just didn't quite have enough on it. Yeah,
good reaction by the defender to be able to get the reverse stick across just to cut that ball out. Otherwise, South Africa were going to be in a really good position in the middle of the circle.
So it's all square with 16 minutes remaining in this game, but here comes Spain. An opportunity on the overlap. Numbers flooding back. The first free hit is given Spain's way. They take it quickly, trying to spin, but the umpire says spinning into the South African defender. So it goes South Africa's way, and Adrian Locke, Neil, we can hear down on that touchline getting very, very animated.
Yes, it's you're used to Spanish coaches being very high volume in supporting their players.
He's certainly doing that at the moment, and he's going to encourage them, keep their concentration, keep their focus. Absolutely critical. It is day 6, it is game 6 for these players, so there is bound to be an element of tiredness creeping in, Neil.
Absolutely, and whilst Adrian may not be Spanish as in terms of a coach, coaching is the team of Spain, but whether the players are actually used to it, and this is the type of coaching that they expect.
So forward it goes into the midfield for Spain, trying to create that opportunity, get that pass, that forward momentum into South Africa. Here they come through the left-hand side attack. A little bit clumsy at times in and around there. Players will just need to be careful. We hear a strong whistle from the umpire. That's a signal to the players just to tidy things up. Spain now really putting on a high press with South Africa, but a good steal there. Spain come back at South Africa. Good period of pressure here from Spain, Neil.
Yeah, good possession, but when they get into this area, they need to get something out of it. What I like they're doing, Rona, is sometimes they're hitting a hard ball long through their midfield, and then when the South Africans step up, they're throwing it over the top. So they're asking the South Africans to keep sharp on their defence, because they can't do one or the other because of the difference of how Spain are bringing the ball out.
Absolutely, they're keeping them on their toes, as you say, mixing up their plays, and they are pushing hard at the moment. Lopez there for Spain, the number 9, trying to drive things forward. But as it is at the moment, the teams are deadlocked. South Africa 0, Spain 0, with 13 minutes of this first half remaining. So instructions being issued from the sideline, mainly from Adrian Locke, the Spanish coach. Giles Bonnet, slightly quieter approach. You can see him talking to his players, showing them a few diagrams on the old coaching board. Neil, have you done that yourself a few times before?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the great thing with that last play was the Spanish back 4 held the ball for a while, moved it from right to centre to left and back again. And by doing that, when the right wing defender got the ball, the South African left wing was well off the pace, and they were able to penetrate the full length of the park. Good patience.
A great steal there by South Africa. They are now attacking. Evans again thick in the action. The keeper Lopez just comes out to clear her lines, but South Africa will have a sideline ball in the Spanish defending quarter. So can they get that opener that they have been pushing for? Spain come away. They don't have anyone high up the pitch, and a really poor decision and pass there allows South Africa to break back. It's Chamberlain who is working hard but can't get an outcome, and we've said many times before, Neil, that outcomes in that final third are so important.
Yeah, it's critical. You get in there, you get a corner, you've got another chance to, and South Africa are well known for having good set pieces.
They certainly are, so time will tell if they can capitalise on those, but it is back with Spain. Lopez again getting us underway. So can one of these teams break the deadlock before half time? If you've just joined us, it is South Africa 0, Spain 0 in this bronze medal match here at the International Hockey Centre at Glasgow Green. Spain do have a long corner. The ball is up in the air. The South Africans' time, Russell, is to bring it down, and now it's with Dammons, and she really does have a turn of pace, Neil, that could hit the Spanish defenders.
Yeah, and the Spanish did well there because they double teamed her, one making the tackle, and when she pushed the ball past, there was somebody there to help and pick the ball up. But that's what you've got to do when you've got somebody of that speed.
You certainly do. And approaching the final 10 minutes of this half, it's been pretty cagey at the moment. Not really any clear-cut chances, Neil, as we speak about.
No, not at all. But as I say, out of the teams I've seen so far, the Spanish seem to be far more patient in their build-up, and they know what areas they're looking to get the ball into.
No, here come South Africa again. Can they turn all this pressure that they've had in the first half into some positive outcomes? But not on this occasion. Spain will bring the ball back out the back. Very comfortable distributing the ball, but South Africa now in the last 10 minutes trying to increase the pressure, really getting numbers around that ball carrier, but some lovely individual skill from Spain allows Lopez to step up the line, relieve that pressure, and a fantastic ball across the pitch all the way. Spain now a great opportunity, and stop basically nearly on the line, but the umpire has signalled for a penalty corner. We might be able to see, Neil, exactly what happened here.
Yeah, great ball, 2-on-1, play the ball into the circle, and the right forward gets it in a great position, head up, but when she hits it across, taking the goalkeeper out, although they get the stick on it, South Africans foul. The ball's not going into the goal, so the foul makes it a penalty corner. I think a fantastic ball from Lopez, diagonal, really splitting open the South African defence.
It certainly did, and a great opportunity now for Spain to take the lead in this all-important bronze medal match. Oh, and it is a close chance. A drag flick off the top, looking for the deflection, but it rolls over the baseline. But Spain still attacking. They do have a long corner. They will try and keep this pressure on. All the way back it goes, and they will have to start and rebuild from the back. So missed opportunity there from Spain, and their first penalty corner of the match.
It's a good option to try and get back to the injector, but the defence had set up well to get the deflection before the injector could get in.
So here we can see it now, Neil, in the replay.
Yeah, set up a double castle, goes to the far side, and a good sweep, but it comes over, keeper and the defender get it over to touch the ball in for a long corner.
So here comes South Africa. Davids with a great opportunity. It is a good shot. Relatively comfortable height, however, for the keeper, but she still has to make the save, Neil.
Yeah, the ball was on target, and as a coach, you're asking your players to just make sure that the goalkeeper has to make a save.
So South Africa keep the pressure on. Bright now with an opportunity on reverse, and she is a powerhouse, gets a lot of power on that, but she'll be disappointed to put it past the post.
Yeah, and this is the corner at the other end again, going to the double castle, and then trying to pull it over to the injector, but the goalkeeper getting to stick to it first.
A double castle, Neil, people might think we're at the beach. You might have to explain that to them.
So you set up with 2 stick stops and either 2 drag flickers or 1 drag flicker and a hitter, so that the defence have to separate their runners to be able to cover both options. What it does is it allows you to have a different number of options and have different angles to shoot at the goalkeeper.
So we are into almost the last 6 minutes of this first half. The teams are deadlocked at 0-0. There have been chances at both ends as Russell joins the attack once again for South Africa. She has been a driving force for South Africa throughout this tournament. Lovely ball forward, and it would be a great time to score. Both teams wanting to finish this tournament on a real positive note. A bronze medal also up for grabs. So as this first half approaches the final 5 minutes, will there be a breakthrough before half time? It's South Africa attacking down the left hand side. It will go for a long corner. Lovely little lifted ball, just didn't quite connect with it there, but they do still earn themselves a free hit. And the ball must travel 5 metres from these free hit situations before it goes into the circle. And Spain now regain possession, start their own counter-attack. But Tan Brightgear just doing enough there to stop the flow of the Spanish attack.
Yes, at least she tackled from a good position. Unfortunately, just got a stick tap as she went in with it. A few misconnections over the last 3 to 4 minutes. People just not seeing the partner before they release the ball. But South Africa a good opportunity here now.
They certainly do. It's a nice pick up. The Spanish defenders quickly backing off. They know they cannot tackle in that situation, and were well disciplined not to give away, therefore a cheap penalty corner. They survived that onslaught, but with 4 minutes remaining in this half, South Africa again smash the ball into the Spanish circle, but no takers on that occasion, and Spain will just want to settle things down, try and get a little bit of quality possession in these final few minutes. build up the play. They're very comfortable at doing that from the back. They won't necessarily rush things. They'll wait for that opportunity. But again, a great steal from South Africa, outnumbering the Spanish players, but it's turned over again. And a fantastic ball forward. The right-hand side attack. Spain, but it, umpire signalling. It is a long corner, so they bring the ball to the correct position. Space now to drill that in.
Interesting, that turnover was when Spanish had gone to 3 at the back and had 2 in the middle of midfield, and a missed trap allowed the South Africans to step in and put them under pressure. When they were 4 at the back, they seemed quite comfortable.
So a change in tactics. Will that change the scoreline? As it stands currently, South Africa 0, Spain 0 in this bronze medal playoff. Both teams working hard, pushing hard to get that breakthrough, with only 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half. It has been a pretty tight half. A couple of better chances later on now that we've seen. At the start it was fairly cagey, played between the 22s, but now the game is beginning to open up. Spain just working the ball out. Their deep defence once again.
2-minute mark.
It's back with South Africa. Russell trying to find that quality pass. She links up.
Keep on going for the next 90 seconds or so.
But it's back with Spain. Umpire blows for the free hit as the players reorganise.
I think Gutierrez, the Spanish number 5, has been remarkably composed throughout this. The South Africans have tried to press her, and she's gone into the pocket with 2 or 3 South Africans, held onto the ball and then just released it to one of her teammates.
Yeah, it's a feature of the Spanish game. You watch them play a lot of small-sided games. They're comfortable in tight situations, and obviously in match situations now when they're under pressure like that pays dividends.
Absolutely, her composure's excellent. They're going back to 4 at the back again now for the last minute. The way they've been playing, they've been very patient. They might try and just keep it, see if they can get one more attack, but the South Africans sitting back in the 3/4 court, this might not go anywhere.
Yeah, both teams might be just quite happy, as you say, Neil, just to see out this half. It will give them an opportunity at half-time to get into the changing room, regroup, regather their thoughts, and I'm quite sure both coaches will have some instructions and advice for their teams going into the second half. But in the final 30 seconds, it is 0-0 here at Glasgow Green between South Africa and Spain in the bronze medal match. So Spain working the ball forward. It's Marsha Cox, South African captain, just putting a stop to that. And this could be the last attack. It is a good aerial ball forward, but almost so good it bounces too high for all the players. And we hear the half-time hooter. That means that South Africa and Spain are deadlocked at half-time. Yet again in Game 3, Neil, we have seen 3 games finishing at half-time 0-0. Do you think the second half is going to live up to expectation of the last 2?
Well, I think so. There have been some good openings on both sides to get up into the opposition's 23 and into the circle. We talked before about getting outcomes in the circle, and I think both coaches would be disappointed with their players that when they got into the circle, they weren't able to get more out of it. But some good hockey, some good patterns. I like the way the Spanish are fairly patient at the back, looking for a long hit, either hitting a midfield player who clears out and heading along forward, or if the South Africa step up, lifting the ball over the top like they did at the very end there and leaving one of their high forwards one-on-one with a defender.
So that brings the half-time to a halt. We can see on the display South Africa 0, Spain 0, and I hope you'll be able to join us in a few minutes' time live for the second half.
The buzz is just unbelievable just now. It's back in my hometown in Trin, everybody's talking about it, and just hopefully I can be part of that Scotland team, and if I am, it will be a memory I'll never forget.
Since joining Scottish Gymnastics, to compete at the Commonwealth Games, it's going to be my first Commonwealth Games, and no better place to do it than in our home country.
Commonwealth Games are really the only time you get to represent like Scotland on its own, and yeah, it's really special. It's like your own little family really when you're on the team. Go Scotland!
Do you know what? I don't think there'll be anything to beat it. You know, I competed at the London Olympics and that was really special, but Glasgow I think will just be something else. Go Scotland!
It's very important to have the backing of the community, the country and that. I'd like folk to get behind you and enjoy what you're doing and appreciate what you're doing. That's what I hard work's for. Go Team Scotland!
I think it's really important that people back Team Scotland. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for everyone to come together and support the team.
There's obviously going to be a great buzz around the city, and we're really looking forward to having the spectators come out and see netball. Netball's not one of the most profile sports that we've got here, so we're really looking forward to seeing how we can really engage with the spectators and show what netball's all about. Go Scotland!
Oh, the support will be huge. If everyone turns up, it's going to be a great atmosphere. There's nothing better than playing on a badminton court with the whole crowd sweltering behind you. It's a really great feeling, and I really hope to experience it.
Being from Glasgow myself, nothing more that you want to do in your career. Homegrown, in your city, all your friends, family can all come and watch. There's nothing really more you want. Go Scotland!
Being in judo, it's an individual sport, but when you're in that fight and if you're down the score, if you just need that extra lift. With Glasgow 2014 coming up and the massive Scottish team that we're going to have in Glasgow, it feels like a family. Go Scotland!
It's a huge honour and it's a pinnacle of anyone's career. I was fortunate enough to play back in Melbourne a few years ago now, where the whole experience was incredible. I'm sure that Glasgow can look to emulate that.
The atmosphere in Delhi was great, even when we're halfway across the world. So to imagine what it's going to be like in Glasgow when we're in front of a home crowd, it's going to be twice as good. Go Scotland!
This will be my first games and it'll be a home game, so for me it's, as much as it's a cliche, it will be a dream come true, and just to have that support and to have my family and friends support me at home games, it means everything to me. Go Scotland!
The best of Scotland is right on your doorstep this year. Hundreds of events are taking place across Scotland to celebrate Homecoming 2014. So you won't have to travel far to find them. Homecoming 2014, a year of brilliant moments right on your doorstep.
Welcome back to the International Hockey Centre in Glasgow, where at half-time in the semi-final match, it is South Africa 0, Spain 0. The match following very much the same pattern as the other semi-finals and placing matches that we've seen here today. Not much to talk about in that first half, but we shall turn to Rona and Neil nonetheless and ask them for their thoughts on it. I mean, I'll be absolutely honest, guys, just going through that half, I think I've starred 4 things to look at. It wasn't a half of any particular goal-mouth action, but a lot of endeavour from both teams and a lot of commitment.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams are working hard to try and create that breakthrough. But as you say, Jack, not a huge amount of goal-mouth action. We just said to Neil earlier on that there's not been a huge amount of clear-cut chances, and very much following the pattern of the first 2 games. But if that's anything to go by, then we're in for an exciting second half at least.
Certainly are. It's been the pattern of play so far today. Neil, let's just quickly look at the best of the chances, I suppose, from the first half. The first was South African effort. That was a comfortable save for Lopez, but a good save nonetheless.
the South Africans have been working this right-hand side. Great hit off the right foot, lifted it a little bit, which makes it difficult for the defender to deal with. And then coming in there, just having to reach a little bit too far for the sweep. And because of that, couldn't direct it as well as she would have wanted. Because the ball was in front of her left foot, she couldn't get it across. And then we go to the corner. Spanish showing a 3-1, but in the end they run a box. So one of the players runs round the back. You can see the player running out the back post. Now it comes to the top circle. Dummy at the top. But the player who's taking that shot wasn't really on it, and it didn't allow the person who injected it to get the pace on it. Good save by the keeper. And then the Spanish, 2-on-1 here, into the player on the baseline. Hit it hard, but probably didn't get it just where they wanted to, but got the corner from it. And then the Spanish corner, they had a double set up at the top circle, goes to the far side, trying to come back across to the injector coming in at that post on the reverse stick, and the keeper gets down really well and gets her stick. So keeper comes out, gets balanced, and then goes down, and that stick just touching it.
You can actually see the deflection off the South African defender there, which makes that save even better, really instinctive stuff. And then I suppose, Rona, final chance and a half fell to South Africa.
Yeah, it did, and we can just see it here. It's a good steal. It's a good early shot, but it's very comfortable for the keeper, you know. Just at glove level, she just palms that away, and just didn't really cause her too many problems. But hopefully we'll see a little bit more goal-mouth action and possibly a few goals in this second half as the players just re-emerge from the changing rooms for the start of this second half.
A reminder that you and home can have your say on today's game. Now that the men have finished in Malaysia, they're not dominating the Twitter feed quite as much. So if you'd like to give us your opinion of this match or any of the matches at the Women's Champions Challenge 1, there's the hashtags AC1 at FIH_hockey. Be great to hear from you. Let us know how you think this match is going to finish up. Teams are back out. You can just see the South Africans in their huddle. And the Spanish players wrapped up warmly on the bench. It's, as Rona said earlier, not the coldest day we've had in Glasgow this week, but certainly not the warmest day either. Adrian Locke, the coach, they're just going over some last-minute thoughts with his coaching staff. Spain will get us underway in the second half. And your commentators, Neil Sturrock and Rona Simpson.
Thank you, Jack. Yeah, we hear the whistle there to start the second half, and it's going to be an intriguing contest. Who will pick up the bronze medal at the end of this game? And Neil, we thought after the first two games into the half-time, we thought, is anything going to happen? And all of a sudden the game's exploded.
Yeah, and hopefully the bronze medal's going to mean something for them. We'll see what the coaches have done in the second half. The Spanish setup at the start looked like a 3-2-3-2, so that would be them trying to get the ball into the middle, into the midfield.
And an early chance there for South Africa. The umpire has allowed to play on. Russell doesn't quite get home. It's still floating about. And South Africa surely must have thought they had the opening goal there within the first minute. Still in possession. Russell working that left-hand side. She tries the reverse stick. Shot, cross, but doesn't quite connect and allows Spain now to relieve the pressure. But I'm not quite sure how South Africa didn't manage to put the ball in the back of the net there, and they may live to rue that opportunity as Spain now break up the other end. South Africa's chance to defend.
Great hit off the back foot and a rebound. Another great save by the Spanish keeper. 2 or 3 saves there. What it needed was one of the South Africans actually to get the ball in the air. Great hit off the back foot, saved by the keeper along the ground. Another save by the keeper. Got it with her upper leg, and then eventually the Spanish got it away. But very good work by the Spanish keeper, although as a centre forward yourself, you would be disappointed not to have scored from there.
Yeah, it would have been, I think, Neil on that occasion, but the score remains the same. South Africa 0, Spain 0. They might not get as clear an opportunity again, but only time will tell. It is getting pretty physical out there. The umpire agrees, and it is a green card for the Spanish player. So she is going to take a little bit of a rest for the next 2 minutes. It says Oliver, who now will watch the action from the sideline for the next 2 minutes. Green card automatically now a sin bin offence, and South Africa will look to see if they can capitalise with a numerical advantage. However, here comes Spain. Marcia Cox, the South African captain, doing her defensive duties, as does Taryn Bright. Two very experienced players there for South Africa, Neil.
Absolutely, and this is where you're hoping for South Africa, or South Africans are hoping that their experience counts so that they can take advantage of the one-man overload, find the area where the Spanish are not got the numbers, and take advantage of that.
Yeah, the South African players frustrated there. They were looking for advantage rather than the free hit, but the whistle had gone, so it had to come back to the free hit situation. But South Africa really piling on the pressure with the numerical advantage at the moment, trying to break that deadlock. And here comes the captain, Marcia Cox, and Chamberlain just a little bit overzealous there, Neil, and she just gives away a cheap free hit.
Yes, the ball popped up, and it wasn't quite in the right place for her to have a hit at goal, but she had a go at it anyway. It's interesting and difficult for the umpires now, Rona, because with the ball having to be taken away 5 yards or 5 metres from the circle in the foul, the advantage is played differently. Because of the self-pass, you actually want the foul in certain areas of the park, but when you're going to have to take it back 5 metres, you would like the umpires to play it on a bit longer to see whether there is an advantage and you can get into the circle.
So here come South Africa again. The numbers are evened up, as we can see. We are back to all square, 11 aside. It is also all square on the scoring front at the moment. 0-0 as the currently stands, but both teams working hard to try and find that breakthrough. Spain now trying to counter-attack. Savatella there for Spain, gaining some ground. They are inside the Spanish defending quarter, but Russell again, and just again a good experienced player, just using that to their advantage and just bringing the ball away for South Africa.
Absolutely, and she was the one that caused the turnover just before that, so showing a lot of work ethic to get back and get it. But the ball that was transferred to her, she had no options, and so there wasn't much in front of her, which caused her to delay on the ball and let the Spanish get in and make the tackle. So, South African subs lining up, all three of them. It is a feature of the modern game. Coaches rotate their players frequently to try and maintain high level of intensity. They come on and off every few minutes, particularly in the forward and midfield line, to make sure that when players are on, they are working 100% flat out. So, South Africa with a free hit, 5 metres out from the Spanish circle. If you remember, it cannot go directly in. It is in and around, and once it gets into the circle, they had a great opportunity, but an infringement by the forward means that Spain can breathe a sigh of relief and bring the ball out, start to rebuild from the back. A good ball forward there, and a bit of time and space now opening up through the midfield, Neil. Yeah, Unfortunately, the ball there for the Spanish wasn't played early enough and it was intercepted, but there's a chance for them now.
Here's a great opportunity, and what a save from the South African goalkeeper. That may prove absolutely crucial. We can see it here on the replay, Neil.
Yes, good ball through, good pick up. Took the ball on with the first touch, showed the keeper balanced and flicked to the far post, but a great hand save rather, that bounces the ball past the defender, the forward at the far post. Good play from Spain just now.
Yep, they're enjoying a good bit of pressure, looking to attack that South African circle again, but the ball over the baseline, so no danger in that attack. And South Africa look to restart, rebuild the game. And Marcia Cox there, just turning easily through the midfield. A lovely little layoff. And South Africa is turning up the pressure here on Spain. Spain just need to be calm, composed. And the ball out of the defensive quarter deemed dangerous. So South Africa now have possession inside the Spanish final quarter on the right-hand side. Damlin's working hard to try and find an opening, but can't create anything on this occasion. So again, Spain comfortable, just working the ball out, playing forward at the back. A feature of what we saw in the first half, Neil.
Yeah, they're creating that overload down one side and then being able to just hit the long ball to hit one of the forwards. Interestingly, the forwards don't run all that often. They wait until they see where the ball is actually going to go. Nice combination there, but obstruction.
So here come South Africa. Adrian Locke, the Spanish coach, willing his players to react quickly, to get back into position. He doesn't want them to get caught out over a cheap turnover. And Spain can't get an outcome on that attack. So South Africa back in their defensive quarter, rebuild the play, try to use the aerial, doesn't quite connect, so Spain back in possession. What can they produce? They do win a quick free hit, they get it out to space. Some nice individual stick skills. Out tossed, and it is deep in the South African defending quarter. Spain surrounding the ball carrier, trying to look for a turnover. But Marcia Cox again. That wasn't actually, sorry, Marcia Cox on that occasion. There's David. But here comes Russell. She has been dangerous. On to Chamberlain. She's recovered from that early knock in the first half. But Spain just happy to knock the ball all the way up the pitch to the other end. And after the first 10 minutes of this second half, teams are still deadlocked. South Africa 0, Spain 0. So South Africans just caught there a little bit at the back, Neil, not quite sure what they were trying to do.
I think they thought the ball was going to go out the end line and had forgotten about it, and it didn't quite make it. What they've got to make sure, they've had some good attacks, the one where you talked about a really good layoff, but the next pass actually stopped the momentum going forward. So once they get the momentum forward and attacking the Spanish, oh, it's a dangerous ball.
Here we go, South Africa, a real chance. Spanish goalkeeper out, makes the first save, another chance. Fell to Chamberlain, and she'll be disappointed with that, just didn't connect. Maybe he was thinking twice, will I shoot, will I pass, and didn't actually execute anything properly.
I think you're right. When she first picked up the ball, it was outside the circle, and I think she had to wait for the ball to cross the line. So we see it coming out from the goalkeeper here, she stops it on a reverse, turns, and she can't, and she has to wait for the ball to hit the circle line before she can hit it, and therefore tries a little bit too hard to put power on it.
So Spain survive another South African attack. Will they be able to survive to the end of this half? So Here they come themselves. Gomez working the ball up the right-hand touchline. This is where most of Spain's attacks have come from, but can't make anything of it on that occasion. They are putting a heavy press on South Africa. Marcia Cox having to twist and turn to try and create anything out of her defensive quarter, but South Africa take the quick free hit and get in behind, and a very good reverse stick hit from Evans up to Chamberlain. Chamberlain again attacking the Spanish circle. She's got it on the baseline. Is there an opportunity here? It is right cleared from in front of the keeper, and Spain living a little bit dangerously, Neil, at the moment.
Yes, and but the Spanish defence did really well, because when the South African picked the ball up on the left wing, they kept her out there till they could get numbers back. And so by the time the ball came across, there were enough players in there to support the goalkeeper, and then they played it out quite nicely.
So can either team capitalise on their chances? South Africa probably certainly had the more goal-mouth action, but haven't managed to take those at the moment, and as a result, it is all fair and square here in the bronze medal match at Glasgow Green. So forward it goes to Taylor. South Africa attacking that left-hand side again. Umpire blows her a free hit, and the coaches getting a little bit frustrated, not allowing the play to flow, as you said earlier, Neil, just to see what happens, and just blowing a little bit early possibly.
Yeah, when the ball's within that area, that if you get a foul, it's got to go back 5 metres. The players want you to play it on a little while to see what happens, because if they get into the circle and they get a shot, then that's far better than having to take the ball back 5 metres and the defence managing to get set up. So it's about playing the advantage differently in different areas of the park. Sometimes the free pass, the foul, is the advantage, but when you get within 5 yards of the circle, 5 metres of the circle, it's not. You want the play to play on for a little bit longer.
So Spain rebuilding out the back, but South Africa pressing the ball hard. It is just chipped up the pitch by Spain. Just happy to clear their lines as we approach the final 20 minutes of this game. Here comes South Africa, bright this time, looking to try and break it in. Russell doing well in the follow-up, a great opportunity again. South African players lined up, but Spanish defend well, and they now look to counter-attack. It's end-to-end stuff at the moment. The Spanish drill the ball in, but Marcia Cox, South African captain, just tidies up at the back, and it really is pretty open at the moment, Neil.
Yeah, but when Evans from South Africa picked that outlet ball up, there was only one player ahead of her. So the South Africans had so many back in defence that they actually couldn't counter. I think, again, Giles would be a little bit disappointed that his forwards are not getting one step in front of the Spaniards when that cross is coming over. So the Spanish defenders are actually managing to step in front and make the interception from what is actually quite a good attacking area.
Yeah, absolutely. We always were taught that as soon as that backswing goes from the wide player, you should be anticipating jumping in front of your opposite number. So that's what I'm quite sure the coaches were looking for from their forwards, because that may just be the difference. That little touch, that little deflection. As we well know, it's very, very hard to defend against, Neil.
Yeah, and if theory is the same as practice, then the way the Spaniards are knocking the ball about, it should be giving their forwards a little bit of time of a recovery, so that when they do have to do the hard work, then they've not been running all the time.
So it is a South Africa sideline ball. No, sorry, Spanish sideline ball. Halfway in the South African half. They now attack down that left-hand side. A very strong stick tackle. The umpire allowed advantage on that occasion. Adrian Locke not particularly happy with that. South Africa start the rebuilding process again. Spain stepping slightly higher now in this, this second half, Neil.
Yeah, and South Africa now struggling to just get the ball into the areas of the park that they were looking for. So they're going to have to look for some different outlet passes.
So here comes Spain. Oh, a deliberate foot, I think, there from the South African captain. She knew she was under pressure, and penalty corner awarded for Spain, and possibly even lucky, as we see it here on the replay, Neil. Just coming up there, possibly lucky to stay on the pitch.
I think the umpire had a difficult call to make, because did the Spaniard actually target her as she was going back? But Adrian Locke looking at his assistant coach in the crowd now to get a call for the corner options to see what the South Africans are running, and then ability to try and move the ball round about it.
So what can Spain do with this option? It is a drag off the top, looking to go one way, throwing it the other, but the keeper makes a comfortable save, but it is still with Spain. Umpire signals for a second penalty corner.
Great recovery by the Spanish, picked the ball up from outside the circle, went in, committed the defender, and then pulled it back. Good drag flick, goes out to top circle, comes in, good drag flick, but what it shows you the rebound qualities of the gloves now that the ball goes out so far from the goalkeeper save. Goalkeeper in a good position, gets out, gets set.
So corner number 2. Oh! Well, I'm not quite sure if the umpire knew exactly where that ball was going. High on the penalty corner. We'll see it again here, Neil, on the replay.
Yeah. Really gets hold of this penalty corner, goes up, comes down onto the back of the South African. Interesting call. Thought that might have been another penalty corner, but the umpire must have seen something else.
Yeah, I think to give the umpire the benefit of the doubt, it happened so quickly, and there was such hit or drag flick with such great intensity. It came off the bar and back at the South African player before I think the umpire got a chance to blink. So it still remains 0-0 in this bronze medal playoff between South Africa and Spain. If you've just joined us, it is certainly end-to-end stuff, and we would love to hear your thoughts as well, wherever you are in the world watching the coverage. You can tweet us at FIH_hockey, #CC1. So please don't be shy. Let us hear your comments on this match or any of the previous matches.
Fantastic cross there from the South Africans, and we saw two forwards, Rona, diving in, as we talked about, that we hadn't seen before. Just didn't manage the connection on the ball, but a great cross from right to left with two forwards trying to get in, stick on the ground to put it past, but just not managing to do it on that occasion.
So we are into the last 15 minutes of this bronze medal match. Here come the Spanish again, a great chance, smashing the ball in. We just see the replay of the penalty corner there, and possibly Spain harshly done by on that occasion. Should have been potentially a re-award for the corner, but umpire's decision is final, so play continued, and the teams are still deadlocked at 0-0. South Africa trying to find space down the right, breaking through the midfield. It falls kindly for them. Costin trying to create a bit of space for herself, but twisting and turning into Spanish defenders. And now Spain breaking, but really not a lot of options ahead of her, Neil.
No, and so she's been looking for somebody to come back to so that she can keep hold of the ball, then under pressure from the South Africans. But the South Africans don't seem to switch the play. When they get it, they play down a channel with numbers, and it's making it a little bit easier for the Spaniards to zone mark and be able to pick up the interceptions. They need at some point to be able to switch it and get round the outside.
So Lopez gets the game underway again. South Africa, three-quarter press, just keeping a little bit of pressure on the Spanish back line. Chamberlain working really hard in the middle there. Once it goes to one side, trying to keep the ball over there. The aerial ball goes up. The umpire blows that for South Africa free hit, and it's back with Bright, now with the captain Marcia Cox. She's not had a huge part to play so far in the game.
She's not been very influential, and maybe it's because the Spanish have made sure that she's under pressure and the other players don't give her much of the ball.
That may well be the case, and Spain now attacking the South African circle, working hard through Maria Gomez to try and get that elusive goal at the moment that would split the teams. But we are waiting patiently with 12.5 minutes remaining in this bronze medal match. There's still plenty of time for some goals to be scored. It's just a matter of which end may they come from. So it's into the South African circle, an infringement, and Spain awarding another penalty corner. Now they really need to start making these count, Neil.
Absolutely. Interesting, good move there, managed to take the ball out, but the ball's just rolled across the circle to a one-on-one where the ball hits the South African foot. But as I said to you, a wee bit surprised. That was from a free hit 5 yards from the circle, and all that happens is the player individually works the ball 5 metres and then does something. There's no real set patterns of play or passes to get that ball into the danger area.
So what can Spain do with this penalty corner? It is the drag flick option again, but it is well blocked by the South African flyer. So it goes to a long corner. Spain attacking the South African circle again. No outcome, but here they come again, back on this left-hand side. Just getting the ball turned over too cheaply there, and another chance gone for the Spanish. We can see it here again on the replay, Neil.
Again, the Spanish put it out to the drag flick to the top circle, but the number one runner, because they take a little bit long to get the ball going, number one runner is there, gets a great deflection on it. Obviously the drag flick is a very good drag flick, but if the ball's not given out to the top circle quickly enough, then the first runner gets a chance to get a piece of it and deflect it away before it gets to the goalkeeper.
So Spain pushing hard to get forward here as we approach the final 10 minutes of this game. One goal may be enough. They smash the ball forward. Umpire signals play on, and here comes Dammons now for South Africa. Can she create something? She's got a lot of work to do. She doesn't have a huge amount of support. Looking for that reverse stick cross. It's a good cross, but not enough support up and around the Spanish circle there from South Africa. So it breaks back to Spain, and pretty end-to-end stuff in these last few minutes, Neil.
Yeah, again, I thought Spanish defence did well there, because the South African break they kept in the left wing channel. They stopped them coming in until the very end, and when the cross did come over, easily picked up by the sweeper and just cleared. If South Africa are going to do things, they need to change the channels with the ball. They need to have players running off that change of channels so that there are different options. At the moment it's a little bit one-dimensional.
Here comes Russell again into the circle. She's looking for that support just to play it back in and around the penalty spot, but the Spanish defence picked that up, got an easy take for the defender at the end. And Spain now trying to work it out of their own half, but there's a number of turnovers. It's pretty tense stuff. The players know time is running out. We are in the final 9 minutes of this match, the bronze medal match. But here it comes, South Africa again. Costin attacking that left-hand pocket. She's made her way into the circle. Is this an opportunity? It goes over the back line for a long corner. The umpire says that was not intentional. That's the reason why it is a long corner. And Marcia Cox, the South African captain, just moves over to take it. She finds Chamberlain and she's working hard. Find a bit of space. South Africa do have the free hit. Got to bring it back to that 5 metre line.
Even here, Rona, they don't have an option on the far side, so Spain know which area of the circle they're going to attack and can overload the defence there. I'm quite surprised that the South Africans, as a real experienced team, are the ones that don't have the dimension to their game. The Spaniards are a bit of patience, a bit of composure, and they're able to switch the ball from side to side.
They certainly have done throughout the game, and here they come again, the Spanish on attack, attacking down the right-hand side. Can they get an outcome this occasion? Twisting and turning. There is a stick tackle. So Spain now have a free hit, 5 metres out from the South African circle edge. And some lovely individual skills. Spain with a real opportunity. And I think that must have been a save off the line. We'll hopefully be able to see that again. It was very difficult just to see exactly what happened. But at the moment, Spain, another opportunity, and it goes over the South African bar. So
Spanish certainly making the running at the moment. Great lift over, gets control of the ball, drives in with it, brings it over onto our reverse side and just chips it. But the South Africans just deflecting, Cox deflecting it away. Not sure it was fully deliberate as to where it went, but she got to stick to it, deflected it clear. Good take in here, and shooting off the right foot, but because the weight was falling backwards, it was always going to be lifted, but that was way over the top.
So 2 great opportunities there for Spain. South African captain Marcia Cox just clearing it off the line to keep the scores. South Africa 0, Spain 0, as we approach the final 6 minutes of this bronze medal match. It has been exciting, entertaining stuff. There is still time for a goal, if not more. We have seen it happen earlier today. 6 minutes is a long time in a game of hockey. South Africa break forward. They do have numbers and support, but can't quite connect. Taylor is looking for the support, but the Spanish defenders step in once more. And as the players work really hard to try and to find that opening at South Africa down the right-hand side through Dammons. She turns the ball over now. It is end-to-end stuff at the moment. The coaches shouting instructions to both teams from the touchline. We have just over 5 minutes remaining in this match. 1 goal at this point. 1 goal at this point in the game could be decisive. So Spain working the ball out the back yet again. Goes all the way up the other end. South Africa trailing back to restart the game. Cox for South Africa, trying to build the play. Some lovely skills there to take the pressure off, looking for that forward pass. She finds Chamberlain. She has worked tirelessly. Forward it goes, but she just can't quite connect there with Evans. And Spain breathe a sigh of relief as they work the ball back out. So just over 4 minutes remaining. Do you think we're going to see a goal in this game, Neil?
One mistake in the last 4 minutes is going to open things up. As one of my coach friends used to say to me, you're not going to be in control of the game for the whole 70 minutes. And if you don't score when you're in control, then...
Well, there we go. Sorry to interrupt you, but we have a controversial moment. A penalty stroke is awarded to South Africa. The ball was scrambling about the goal. We will see it here on the replay.
Yeah, the ball was crossed over. One of the Spaniards ran in at South African, but the ball got to the South African. reverse stick shot, saved by the keeper but touched over, and then at the far post.
And Chamberlain slots the penalty stroke away. She is delighted. She has put in a tireless effort this afternoon for South Africa, as we see it again.
Very good low flick to the goalkeeper's bottom left. Very difficult for the goalkeepers to get there with their pads. Almost perfect penalty, isn't it?
It certainly was well placed, and she probably deserves that goal. She has worked so hard this afternoon. Here she is again. It falls again for South Africa. They are chasing every ball. Cost them there, just couldn't quite keep it in play, but finally the deadlock has been broken. South Africa lead Spain 1-0 with 3 minutes remaining in this bronze medal match. Again, Chamberlain, a great tackle, just ball giving instructions to Evans, take the ball to the corner. She's back in possession, back into Spanish circle. She wants a second, and a great opportunity for a second, and she'll be disappointed that she's put that wide, Neil.
Yes, absolutely. She's now really driving the South Africans on, isn't she? She picked the ball up, went right, left, across the defender, opened up the shot off the wrong foot, but unfortunately couldn't connect, either put it in the goal or connect with the player at the back post. Now the Spanish have got to come out, they've got to play the ball high and early. I'll see what they do.
Yeah, absolutely. South Africa just sitting in their own half, trying just to consolidate after taking the lead, but there is still enough time in this game for more goals. However, the whistle goes. South Africa have a free hit. They're just comfortable to slow things down, settle things down in the final 2 minutes of this encounter. It was 0-0 for a long while, but finally South Africa broke the deadlock through a penalty stroke. Turkey Chamberlain converting the penalty effort, and now Spain have the clock against them to try and find an equaliser. So the coaches issuing instructions to both teams. They know there is a bronze medal at stake. South Africa have the advantage, but Spain on the ball, trying to create. They only need one opportunity. Guinea breaking forward, but it's got to come all the way back round. And both teams battling hard. South Africa back in possession. They'll be quite happy just to knock the ball up the other end, kill a few more valuable seconds. But here comes Spain once again. A great ball all the way diagonally across to Guinea on the far side. And Spain now into the South African quarter. 30 seconds remaining. Can they create that one opportunity? They are in the South African circle. South Africa just need to play sensible hockey. They're back in possession. They just knock the ball over the sideline. They have 10 seconds remaining on the clock. The Spanish have to get the ball forward. Taryn Bright tidying up for South Africa. And there goes the final whistle. South African arms raised. They have won the bronze medal in this Women's Champions Challenge 1. And a hard-fought contest, Neil, deserved in the end.
Well, as we always say, it's deserved if you score more goals than the opposition. I think the Spanish will feel particularly disappointed that their penalty corners were not... well, they were on target, but they didn't go in. They created a lot of chances, but and probably more clear-cut chances than the South Africans throughout the game. But at the end of the day, you have to put the ball in the back of the net. I think the Spanish side, maybe 2 years from now, will, if they keep most of these players, are going to be a real side to be reckoned with.
Yeah, absolutely. They are a young side. They'll be disappointed just right at this moment in time with obviously the end result. The South African players jubilant. They're delighted. They will go home with the bronze medal from this tournament. A good finish for the tournament for them. And Neil, player of the match from this encounter?
For me, I thought Dirkie Chamberlain, for somebody who got hit on the head and then was instrumental in what's going on. It reminded me a little bit of the story of one of the players at Partick Thistle who suffered a concussion, and the physio said to the manager he doesn't know who he is, and the manager said, well, just tell him he's Pele and put him back on.
Yeah, so she certainly made the difference between the teams today. We see the final score there on the screen. South Africa 1, Spain 0, and South Africa will take the bronze medal home with them today.
Thanks very much to Rona and to Neil, and I believe that player of the match, Dirkie Chamberlain, is down on pitch side and ready for the interview.
Congratulations, Dirkie Chamberlain, player of the match. You left that a bit late with your penalty.
My penalty, wow, yeah. I was ready to take it. I was confident, and it's only one way I go. I don't change my mind, and I went for it. Yeah, very happy with it.
Very cool and very well slotted into the bottom corner there. They always say low for goal, high for glory. Any thoughts on when you're taking your penalty?
Thoughts on my penalty? Just act as though it's training. There's no one around. You're just doing it for fun and composed.
Excellent result for South Africa. This will be the highest ranked you've been since 2009. A great performance, great team performance.
Really, really well done. We have a wonderful team. We came out today. We left everything out there, I think. And wow, yeah, I think the smiles are deserved. We are ecstatic. I mean, yesterday it didn't go our way, but today we were like, we're going to go out and give it everything. And so proud of my team. They really got stuck in and gave everything.
Very, very composed all the way through. You always looked like you knew you had it in you to get there. The work rate was exceptional. And some excellent saves at one end and some fantastic shots at the other.
Wow, it really was. I must compliment Spain. It was a great match. It was a great, third and fourth. I think that's what the crowd come to see. So from Spain, they didn't make it easy for us, but I'm still very proud of my team for pulling it through, kept going, and we just stayed believing.
Excellent work. Thank you very much, Dirkie. Congratulations, South Africa.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
So, Dirkie Chamberlain there, pitch side, and very gracious, Rona and Neil, very humble, giving plenty of credit to the Spanish team for their input there in what was, as we've seen over the course of the first three games today, an excellent second half, making up for a rather poor first one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first two games this morning went the same, 0-0 to half-time, and then everything's happened in the second half. And I think over the piece there, South Africa really stepped up the pressure and got the just reward at the end of the day.
Neil, we'll take a look at the notable moments from that second half. It was end-to-end stuff at time and a few chances that we'll probably skip over, but it hinged probably on two crucial decisions. The first was short corner to Spain that Riera rattled off the bar, came off the back of the South African player, wasn't given by the umpire probably when it should have been another penalty corner. And then, of course, the second decision was the penalty flick from which South Africa scored the winner. So just talk us through the first of those incidents just now.
Well, the Spanish drag flicks are a real weapon, and as you say, as Riz comes in, she gets a real hold of it and manages to get it high above the keeper, and as it comes back off the bar you can see it onto the back of the South Africa. I'm not sure what the umpire's giving it for, because there's nobody else around for it to be dangerous. Not sure where the keeper actually gets a touch to it there, but it comes back and hits 21 on her back. There's not a Spanish player around to say that it could be dangerous at all, so I'm not quite sure why why the umpire gave that one. But you're right, Spain would be slightly disappointed that they didn't get another corner on that. Actually, they're probably disappointed it didn't go in.
Yes, they probably are, to be honest. Quite right, Neil. They did have a number of other chances throughout that half, though, and just a combination of good saves and maybe just not quite lucky enough or clinical enough in front of goals to make any of those count.
Yeah, and sometimes that's, as a young team, you sometimes just tense up when you're looking for goals. When Rona was a centre forward playing there, she was going to put the ball on target 9 times out of 10 because she knew she was going to score. Sometimes when you're a bit younger coming into international hockey, you tense up a little bit when you're trying to go through the action. Because you tense up, your muscles don't go through their natural arc, and so you pull the ball to one side or the other rather than just letting it flow.
Well, they didn't take advantage of their chances, Neil, and it was South Africa that were able to take advantage of theirs. Here's the decision, first of all.
Yeah, I don't think there's much wrong about the decision. The ball going into the circle there, South Africans have it, managed to get hold of it onto the reverse side, and as it goes across to the player at the far post, she gets her stick on it and tries to roll it into that back corner. Good skills. And the Spanish defender can do nothing but get her body in the way, so I don't think anybody can have any qualms about the actual decision there.
Slightly unfortunate for Lola Riera there, who otherwise had an absolutely outstanding game for Spain at the back.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought the Spaniards played a really constructive, patient game. It's the first time I've seen one of the teams actually play the ball at the back and wait for the right time to go forward. I think they're going to be an exciting team to watch over the next few years.
Well, here was the moment of truth for Dirkie Chamberlain. We'd said before the game, Rona, that South Africa had missed their previous 2 penalty flicks in this competition, but no mistakes there from Dirkie Chamberlain.
No, absolutely not. She would be know exactly where she wanted to put it, chose her spot, and as I say, gave the goalkeeper really no chance. It's probably the most difficult area. Keeper's non-stick side, right in the bottom corner, and certainly I think she deserved the goal in that game. She worked tireless for the team, and she was the difference on the day, and South Africa will take home the bronze medal as a result.
On that one, Jack, sorry, just when she starts to take the stroke, you can see the goalkeeper from her balanced position move her left foot just as Chamberlain steps up to the ball. Watch her left foot go. And then she can't reach any further because she's made that left foot starts to go and then it goes again, and she can't get any further because of the position she's in. So a really accurate ball into the corner, but the goalkeeper, it looked as though the goalkeeper knew where it was going because her foot was already going in that direction.
That's a really good spot, Neil. Good analysis, and thank you very much for your company over the course of these first 3 games, and thanks to Rona as well. It's finished here in Glasgow in the bronze medal match, 1-0 to South Africa, and you can see on the faces of those South African players what it means to them to win this bronze medal. Their highest ranking in the world ranking since 2009. It's a fantastic achievement for them, but the action doesn't stop there, because we have 1 more game left of this FIH Women's Champions Challenge 1. The next match up for you is, of course, the final between Ireland and the United States, as we see the physio just checking out the lump on Dirkie Chamberlain's head there from being thwacked by the ball early in the first half. Yes, the next game starts in just over half an hour's time. It's 6:15 British time, 4:45 if you're watching on GMT. And what a prospect we have in store for us there. A team with all the guts and all the conviction of Ireland up against a team in the United States that for the last few matches has looked absolutely as solid as a rock. Leave you then with confirmation of the final score here in the bronze medal match. Dirkie Chamberlain's day, South Africa's day. They are victorious by 1-0 over Spain. We're back in about half an hour's time here. We hope you'll join us then. But for now, from me, Jack McGill, and everybody here at the International Hockey Centre, have a very good afternoon.
The best of Scotland is right on your doorstep this year. Hundreds of events are taking place across Scotland to celebrate Homecoming 2014. So you won't have to travel far to find them. Homecoming 2014, a year of brilliant moments right on your doorstep.